Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sammy J, Pixels and Kilowatts. Well, we're close to the new year, and we're gonna jump right into it, give you some tips and tricks and some advice and just experience from my journey. I hope you follow me, subscribe and follow me on my journey. You'll see what this channel is all about. But we're gonna dig right into it. What have we learned in the past few, frankly, years and months, and how can we improve into the next year? It doesn't have to be 2025. You can start right now. Again, this is my point of view, what I've done, and I've seen that it is definitely 100% productive. Number one, don't focus too much on the gear. We'll have another video on the gear, but keep it simple. There is Canon AE1, A1, and all the other ones. Again, we'll have a specific video on which best camera to pick. But advice number one: don't focus too much on the gear. If you have mirrorless, you don't mess with 35mm. That's fine too, because right now there's too much focus on the gear. So you spend time learning the camera and focusing how many megapixels, how many frame per second, and all of a sudden. Again, this is what I found on my own. Is like I'm focusing too much on the gear and competing with others. You Sony, Nikon, Canon, and start have loyalty to these other companies, and not actually focusing on the composition. So number one, don't focus too much on the gear. Try to focus on the composition and the picture and what you're doing actually. Frankly, that's why 35mm helps here. So hopefully you can transition to that again as a complement, not as a replacement. That's number one. Number two, the journal. I know you don't have to be in third grade or high school to journal. Have a journal just for photography. Believe me, you'll be sleeping, you'll be daydreaming, you get an idea, don't put it on your phone. Write it down. Just write the idea down. I want to do macro photography today about water drops or smoke photography or this or that. Write it down. I found out, we humans have great ideas. We're moving so fast, 3 seconds attention span. We just forget, You look at an article, you read the headlines, you never read the rest. So that's why the attention span there, is very short, frankly. So write it down. I found out when you write things down, you're gonna act on them. Out of sight, out of mind. So number one, don't focus on the gear, focus on the composition, keep it simple. Number two, write it down. Number three, if you have a camera, again, I don't want to be biased to any camera, but even if 35mm you have, or mirrorless, or two-thirds and all the other cameras, full frame, half a frame. Read the manual. Again, 35mm manual, you can read it in 5 minutes. I love it. The most I've seen is 30 pages. I've seen some for 12 pages. I said, why went from 12 to 1200? The R5 Mark II is like 900. I think it's over 1,000. Correct me if you have one of those mirrorless cameras. Put comments here. Just tell me. Number one, have you read the manual and how many pages is it? I have an R5. Believe me, I haven't read the whole manual. It's just impossible. Who's gonna read over, frankly, over 100 pages? I'll go read a book. And there's too much details, and we get consumed with the technical aspect of things. So, long story short, read the manual, or at least read the sections that you're not comfortable with, aperture, shutter priority, all that. Read it and highlight and print those things and practice, not just read and don't practice. If they say, depth of field is this and that, read it and just practice at home. Put a jar or a cup and take pictures and see, yeah, depth of field, yeah, correct. Open the faucet, try your shutter speed. Does it stop it? Not, whatever. If you don't put it in practice, it's not gonna work. Again, another point is watch YouTube. Something like what you're doing right now. You get inspired. I mean, you're not gonna watch this channel only. I don't know. I watch other channels. Some are inspiring, some are not. You subscribe and support this community. I mean, there is not many of us, especially in this field. So we need your support. Subscribe and follow us, so it keeps us going. Again, I'm just documenting my journey. So another point is what? Go to the museum. Okay, ask yourself, when is the last time I went to a museum? I went this year. And it's been months I haven't been to the museum, but you get inspired, you look at pictures, oh, okay, you look at angles and just take your time. Don't go there for 30 minutes. I see people just going from one picture to the other with 3 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, look and see who done it and focus on 2 or 3 artists and then come back and research them and you'll see their story. And every museum has a photography section. Go look in there. Best pictures taken so far, believe me. Black and white. Yeah. And with a 35mm camera. They didn't need the 50 mega or 100 megapixel and the 20 frame per second and 40 frame per second. Maybe I'll do a session just on great pictures. I'll probably gonna do that in the future. Go with black and white. Less is more. So this is 2 tips in 1. Go to the museum, get inspired, go with black and white. Color is busy, believe me. I don't care what picture you take. Color is just too many things you're focusing on. Try black and white. Just try it. I mean, try it with your mirrorless. Go take a picture of a bench or a light pole and see, wow, it looks different. You take it with mirrorless camera, it's 100 megapixel or is super clear. It's boring. Boring is out. Next year, boring is out. Interesting is in. That's the bottom line, Next, embrace new techniques. I hate rule of the thirds. I read a lot of books. Rule of the third. Don't put it in the middle. Put it in the left. No. We're going to put the subject in the middle. Break the rules. You'll be surprised. Sometimes the subject need to be in the middle. Everything's so perfect. Rule of the thirds, proper lighting. I mean, who wants to look at the perfect picture? We got AI now, and you can type in, "I need a man on the beach with an umbrella," and then boom, you get that. You type a word, and 20 seconds you got a picture. What creativity and inspiration into that? Frankly, AI is great for certain things, but for photography, I don't think so. I mean, there's some artists with AI that's great, and nothing against that. But again, after in my journey, if you follow me, please follow me and subscribe. You see what I'm talking about. Understand why we're talking about this. We started using the 35mm. It changed my whole perspective of photography. I was in the fast lane. You heard the word lizard brain. It's like, any place I went, I took hundreds, sometimes thousands of pictures. I went to birding sighting one time. Look at birds and stuff like that. One bird, I took like 500 pictures. I never looked at all of them, maybe 1 or 2. So break the rules and try to go 35mm if you can, if you have one. And see what you get. I mean, if you never experience something new, you're not going to learn something new, period. So try to break the rules. Another good one, don't use zoom lenses. On all my 35mm cameras, 90%, it's either 50mm lens or 35. They call them, these are called prime lenses. Zoom, you get lazy. Yeah, you get lazy. I went to the zoo, and again, I'll put a video specifically on that. I think I took the Canon A1 and the Olympus OM20 or OM40. I did some black and white pictures. I was shocked. I was walking more. I was getting closer to the subject because I was looking, it's too far. Let me walk further. It's too far. I get it. So maybe I walked triple the amount of walking I've done. You've got to use prime lenses. Forget about the 70 to 200, and there's like 150 to 600 and 800 now. If you're a photographer and you're in Africa somewhere, or you're taking some bird, I mean, there's Zoom has a place in there. I don't want to be biased to anything, but if you're a starting photographer, even if you're a pro photographer, look at your your functions so far. Look at your lenses. Look at your collection of lenses. Are they all zoom? How many primes I have? You have a prime lens like 50 millimeter or 35. Have I used it? Again, if you listened earlier, put it in your journal. I haven't used my prime for 3 months. Believe me, using a prime lens, just that, from all this video, if you just focus on, I'm going to use a prime lens for 30 days, you're going to be shocked. And also, another tip for you, if you don't have a 35 millimeter, you have a mirrorless, put they call it photographer's tape. Put a piece of paper here or tape. Don't mess up the screen, and just hide the screen. And just that little tip, and start taking pictures. You're not doing all of that every time. You're just doing this. Even doing that, I don't see that. You go to any function now, it's like everybody's doing that. It's like, it's weird. I don't know. It's just me or what's this? What kind of composition of this? Because you're looking on the screen, you're looking through the eye. Listen to this. You're looking at the screen, you're seeing the scene, plus your eye also looking at the bigger screen. So there's confusion here. You're looking at the big one and the small one, and your brain saying, okay, is this picture this or that? I'm making a decision. When you do that, you eliminate the busyness, you eliminate the big screen, and you focus on the little one minute screen, which is sometimes they're 93-94% of the actual screen. So just that tip itself is going to help you cover it, or sometimes you can turn and close it. So I hope this helps. I mean, we forget about these. These is not rocket science. So cover the screen, go to the museum, use prime lens, do black and white, write those stuff down. Get your bullet journal or any journal. I have one called Photography Journal 2025 or 2024. Write those things down, because you're gonna forget. You come back, oh, okay, that guy said, prime lens. I have 3 prime lenses that I haven't used in 3 years. Plus, if you have over 10 lenses or over 3, frankly, sell them. You're not gonna, anything you haven't used in 2 years, get rid of it. That's the bottom line. I mean, that's an excellent tip. If I have a photographic equipment, lens, camera, speaker, mic, whatever it is, I haven't used in 24 months, it needs to go. So 2025 is decluttering for photography. That's going to give you peace. It's going to give you peace of mind. It's going to make you feel good. And great. So I hope all these tips help you guys, and see you in 2025.